Alrighty, our final spiral review of the year. All right. Unless this isn't this year, then it's not this final, perhaps. Let's see. Answer the question. Is f of x a function? Yes, f of x looks like it's a function. Your reasoning should be something along the lines of, for each x value, for each input, there is only one output. Something along those lines. Sketch a graph of the inverse. So I did this last time. Don't know if it's helpful, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So for the OG, x f of x, and I'll label the points. So we've got 0, -3. We've got 2, -1. Looks like 3, 0. I'm just picking off any nice points I can see. 6, 1. So that means for the x and then the inverse, it's going to be -3, 0, -1, 2, 0, 3, and 1, 6. -3, 0, -1, 2, 0, 3, and 1, 6. 1, 6. So something like that, and then like that maybe. I don't know if my picture is beautiful, but something like that. That does appear to be a function. So yes, same reasoning. For every input, there is only one output on my inverse. So is f invertible? Yes, your reason has to be something along the lines of, because f and its inverse are both functions, that means that f is invertible. Consider the function the cube root of x. Describe the transformations. Alrighty. We've got a -3 there, so that means we're going right 3. Why is it right? Because what makes x -3 0? That would be 3. That's a positive number, so we move right 3. We're going to have a vertical stretch by a factor of 2, and then we're going to go up 1. And that is the pattern I would use to graph it also. Rewrite the expressions using radicals and extracting roots. Okay, so what I might do is, there's a lot of different ways to think of this. I'm going to show you 2 different ways. Do 2 different pieces like this, and then the cube root of 27. So what times what times what is 27? That's 3. And the cube root of x to the 12th, so that's what times what times what gets me x to the 12th, which is really, so what times what times what gets me x to the 12th. So that's going to be x to the 3n, so n's going to be 4, so x to the 4th. Because x to the 4th times x to the 4th times x to the 4th is x to the 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is x to the 12th. If that second part's a little bit confusing, you can leave this part like this, but then write this part as x to the 12th to the 1/3 if you want to go exponent, if that makes more sense in your brain. That is totally fine. You'll still get the 3 there, and then you'll have x to the 12 over 3 because you're multiplying those exponents, so that's x to the 4th. Either way, you don't have to do it both ways, but either way works. Whatever makes sense in your brains. Sorry, zombies came out. Solve each equation. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pretend this is just like a linear equation. I'm going to get this by itself first. So -2 cube root of x equals, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, so -1. I'm still going to roll with the linear equation idea, and I'm going to get that by itself. I'm going to divide by -2. -1 but divided by -2 is 1/2. And now I'm going to say, all right, I want to get that x by itself. To get rid of that cube root, let's go ahead and cube it. So the cube root cubed, just like our discussion on the previous page, is just going to be x. 1/2 cubed, well, that's 1 cubed, so that's 1 times 1 times 1, which some of you will say 3, but it's actually 1. And then 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. If this part is confusing to you, once again, you could think of it as x to the 1/3, because that's the cube root, cubed, and then you can multiply those and you get 1, so it's x to the 1. This next one we're going to approach much the same way, but we have the 4th root all by itself, so I'm going to go ahead and raise both sides to the 4th right away. So I'm left with x minus 5 on the left and 3 to the 4th on the right. If you don't know what 3 to the 4th is, feel free to use your calculator, or you can just do it in your brains. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 3 is 81. Then we're going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides, so you get 86. That is it. We are done with spiral reviews for now.